These eye-catching headlines often distort the true message of the article, creating a disconnect between what's promised and what's actually delivered. And too often, we bite. The headline pulls us in, and we may not even read the full story, or worse, we read it only the headline, forming opinions without the full context.
It all begins with something called confirmation bias. This is the natural tendency to seek out information that supports our pre-existing beliefs while dismissing or ignoring anything that contradicts them. We all fall victim to it. It's human nature. The internet, with its algorithms and personalized feeds, only amplifies this effect, reinforcing the views we already hold and creating a dangerous cycle where misinformation thrives. Another factor contributing to the spread of false information is emotional appeal. Information that provokes a strong emotional reaction, be it fear, anger, or excitement, tends to stick with us far more than neutral facts. And in today's digital age, where attention spans are shorter than ever, emotionally charged content is more likely to go viral.
As we consume more information that aligns with our beliefs, we grow less open to opposing viewpoints. This makes it harder for us to critically assess the information we're exposed to, allowing false narrative to take root. Whether it's an inflammatory headline or a video designed to stir up anger, the emotional trigger draws us in, making us less likely to pause and think critically. In this moment, facts take a backseat to feelings.
But perhaps one of the most insidious aspects of misinformation is the lack of critical thinking. In an age where new information is constantly being delivered to us, few stop to question its validity. We're often in a rush, seeking instant answers, and it's easy to fall into the trap of accepting things at face value.
Without taking the time to verify sources, cross-check facts, or ask deeper questions, we become more vulnerable to false claims, no matter how convincing they may seem.
In our everyday lives, we encounter an overwhelming amount of information through news broadcasts, social media, and countless other platforms. But not all of this information is accurate. In fact, much of it is false, misleading, or deliberately manipulated. In this age of constant connectivity, how do we distinguish between fact and fiction? What leads to the spread of false information? And what could be done to stop it? Consider the power of echo chambers. The internet, designed to connect us, has also isolated us into smaller like-minded groups. Social media algorithms prioritize content that aligns with our interests, creating virtual spaces where our beliefs are constantly reaffirmed.
In these echo chambers, the spread of false information is compounded. Ideas and stories circulate within these closed loops, growing in influence and legitimacy with each repetition. The more something is shared, the more likely it is to be perceived as true, even if it's not.
Another tactic that fuels misinformation is the use of misleading headlines. In an era driven by clicks, sensationalism often trumps accuracy. Headlines are crafted not to inform, but to provoke curiosity and drive traffic. In today's digital landscape, images and videos can be manipulated with astonishing ease. Deepfakes, altered photo, and audio clips can be crafted to deceive, making it harder to tell reality from fabrication.
These manipulated media are often so convincing that even the most discerning viewer can be fooled. Once shared, they can spread rapidly, altering perceptions and distorting the truth.
And then, there is intentional disinformation. This is not a mistake or an accident. It is a deliberate attempt to mislead and manipulate, whether for political gain, financial profit, or two-zone confusion. Disinformation campaigns are designed to deceive, often on a massive scale.
This information is crafted to look credible, often using fake accounts or trusted figures to spread false claims. Its goal is simple: to distort reality and create division. The consequences of false information are real. It affects our decisions, our beliefs, and even our society. But awareness is the first step in combating it. By questioning the sources of what we consume, developing a more critical mindset, and taking the time to verify facts, we can begin to protect ourselves from being misled.
Social media influencers identified by most Filipinos and from businesses in the country. An overwhelming majority also agree fake news is a problem that should be addressed in the Philippines.
In a world dominated by social media, the spread of false and harmful information has become a global concern.
Today, we go beyond the headlines to explore how disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation are shaping what we see online. Misinformation is a false information shared without harmful intent. Disinformation is a false content spread intentionally to mislead.
These forms of information pollution aren't just online, but they have very real consequences in society. And in recent months, the Philippines has seen several alarming examples.
In Spain, young people rely on social media for news, but they don't trust it. Many feel manipulated and even in danger.
How do you think the information you read online is trustworthy?
When someone is proving it and provides some evidence and napuche credentials sa mga authors.
Para ma-sure dyan nato nung trustworthy ang information na ihatag sa tuwa is we need to look for credible sources jud dili jud ta magpataka og tuko sa mga social media platforms kung saan ilang gipanghatag ang mga information dira kay ang uban lang dira ang main purpose lang jud nila is to deceive you, to make you believe na kani kitinuod jud ni siya og siguro maka-alter ni siya sa mga choices o mga decisions na imo ang pagabuhatan in your daily life.
Why do you think many young people still fall for fake news online?
Maybe nag-lack sila og logical thinking and lacking pod og fact-checking sa mga news nga ilang makita online, and youngsters today is prone mag tuo dayon og mga haka-haka without even checking if it's fact.
Siguro kay nagka-decline na ang digital literacy diri sa Pilipinas. The way nga magtuo ng usa ka bata is kanang lahi na ang approach niya in perceiving the reality nga naa diri sa iyahang palibot sa iyang environment. Siguro ang kakulangan sa digital literacy mao'y nagapaksug ani nga fit diri sa Philippines kanang mutuo dayon og mga make-believe videos og mga fake controversies mga inanay.
Next is, why is it important to check the facts before sharing any news online?
Para ma-avoid nimo nga mahimong isa ka media for sharing fake news online, since pag-share og fake news or pag-spread og fake news is makakause siya og more trouble gani.
What do you think are the dangers of spreading this information?
If mag-base ta sa like way back sa COVID-19, no, daghan og mga fake news nga nag-spread and nag-cause to og panic buying sa mga tao, and kana pa lang panic buying mag-cause og kanang mobs sa mga supermarkets, so very delikado jud.
Namagoy mga facts or mga details nga dapat ato na i-neglect since dili man siya relevant jud sa imong ginatakil. Napoy mga facts nga dili jud siya facts, di na siya matawag nga facts no kay nay mga kanang lain nga side diri ang facts o kanang usahay kay gimo-himo lang siya.
In early 2025, public anxiety over disinformation reached an all-time high in the Philippines. 67% of Filipinos said they are deeply concerned about online lies, the highest ever recorded.
This comes during the tense political climate, the arrest of former President Duterte by the International Criminal Court, impeachment talks involving Vice President Sara Duterte, and the fake news targeting institutions like Comelec.
If you don't exactly know something, people nowadays, they don't parang stop, read, and comprehend. They just jump into conclusion.
The NBI is monitoring bloggers spreading fake news. One falsely quoted President Marcos Jr., sparking outrage before it was proven fake.
With billions of users, social media is the main battlefield. Platforms say they're fighting back, but disinformation spread faster than facts.
Fact-checking tools exist, but they're not enough. People still fall for viral lies.
In the Philippines, hope comes from education. Nearly half of young Filipinos have had media literacy training above the global average.
Groups like CheckPH and Verifiles in universities help verify truth and educate the public.
So, what can we do? The first time of defense isn't a tech company, it's you.
Before you share anything, pause and verify. Look for the source. Check the date. Search for confirmation.
And when in doubt, don't share.
Media literacy and digital citizenship aren't just for school lessons. They're life tools for safety, for truth, and for each other. Because the truth matters. And so does what you do with it.